Hey Glam Squad, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. In today's video, I'm going to be creating this makeup look for you guys. About a year ago, I believe, I created a look with the Carter Beauty Velvet Warm Palette. And I got a comment the other day from a follower, I'll leave it right here, and she said that she'd like to see me create more looks with that palette and something a little bit more wearable. So I created this look. I thought it would be great. You can take it from day to night. You can really make it as subtle or as dramatic as you like. It's really easy, pretty straightforward. So this should be a pretty straightforward tutorial for you guys. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section. That's what that's for. I really want to know if you find these talk through videos a little bit more helpful than voiceovers, or do you prefer voiceovers where they're quick, straight to the point and a little bit shorter? Do let me know, because your feedback means the world to me. This look is focused a lot on the browns and the nudes in the palette. The other look I created was using a lot of the burgundy shades in the palette. So if you'd like to see how I created that look, I'll leave that linked up above the screen right about now. But I really do hope you enjoy this tutorial. So if you are interested to see how I got the eye look and the complexion, then just keep on watching, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I'm just going to take this color right here down on the bottom right and this is a beautiful transition shade. And I'm going to take this fluffy blending brush from Blank Canvas Cosmetics. It's the E20. This brush is a lifesaver for transition shades. So this I'm just going to place right into the crease of the eye and keeping it nice and close to the crease, right on top of the eyeball. We're just going to start swirling it around. So once the color is kind of placed deep into that crease, you can start kind of swirling the brush upwards and kind of blending it back and forth. So it's just going to soften out the color and then just blend it right up to the brow bone. So most of the color is going to be on the crease, but it's just going to buff it out and kind of soften it out to the brow bone so it looks a little bit more natural. So next I'm going to take Noble, which is a little bit darker than the first shade that we use. Again, it's a lovely warm matte brown shade, and I'm going to be taking a smaller goat hair blending brush. So this is just a teeny tiny bit smaller than the first one, but it's just going to ensure that you're a little bit more precise in the crease. Both brushes are absolutely amazing and I'd highly recommend them. So I'm just going to dip into Noble. We're going to tap off the excess. Oh my god, I can't speak. Ugh. I'm going to place this right into the crease and we're going to start blending back and forth and then just swirling the brush around. So we're just going to work on deepening that crease shade. I'm now going to go into shade 13, which is a deeper, darker matte brown. And I'm going to use the same brush and I'm just going to place the brush down, like pat it down, and then I'm going to just start patting this onto the lid. You can then just start swirling the brush around, just kind of buffing it into the crease shade. I'm just going to go back with my first blending brush and we're just going to kind of soften out the top of it. So you can see this look is very soft, it's blown out, quite romantic I feel. You know, you can make it as subtle or as dramatic as you'd like. Like if you just wanted to put a tiny bit in the lid and a tiny little bit just in the crease for a bit of definition, if you didn't want to bring it up too high, you could totally do that. Or you could do it the way I'm doing it now with lashes and liner and turn it into like a nighttime look. I just think there's so much you can do with it, and you can do so many different lip colors with it as well. You can do like berries, reds, nudes, pinks, like literally anything. Okay, so I am going to take a pencil brush now, which is like a really compact blending brush. It's a little bit kind of stiffer, if that's the best way to describe it, and it's great for packing on color on the lower lash line, or if you want to maybe put a little bit of highlight in the inner corner or under the brow bone, because it's really precise as well. It's quite small, as you can see. So I'm just going to dip into the dark brown shade and the medium kind of brown shade that we used earlier, and I'm just going to start swooping that on the lower lash line and connecting it to the lid colour. You can leave the look like this if you'd like, but I just want to add a little something something. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Rich, which is kind of like a rusty gold, and then a little bit of golden right here. I'm just going to dip into both shades just very lightly, and I'm using this brush from Blank Canvas. It's the E40, and I'm just going to pack on the colour. So again, this brush is really stiff. It's great for packing on colour, but I just want it to be really sheer, so I'm not using much pressure. I'm holding the brush down the very end, and I'm literally just tapping. So it's going to give just a very sheer shimmer to the lid. I'm also just going to take a little bit of golden, and I'm going to use this as my brow bone shade, and I'm just going to just very lightly just press this right in under the arch of my brow and just kind of swoop it down. You can use your finger then if you'd like, just to kind of buff it out. And now for the fun bit, I'm going to go in with some liner. This is one of my favorite eyeliner pens. I always recommend pens to beginners because they're so easy to work with. They're really compact, they're really handy for taking with you when you're traveling, so you don't have to bring like your little pot of liner and your little brush. So these I highly recommend. This is my favorite because I've had it for months and it hasn't dried out yet. I find with a lot of liner pens, they might be great for the first use or two, and then they just dry out really quickly, or else they kind of flake if you go over them too much. So this, like, out of all the liners I've used, I've had a couple of different ones that I said, oh, I really like this, and then, you know, a couple of uses down the line it just dries out. But this I've been using for over a year now and it still hasn't dried out, so that I'm really impressed with. So you want to use the end of your lash line as a guide and kind of follow like the end of your brow as well. So that's kind of where you want your wing to be. So I just like to press the pen down against my cheek. You can use your finger for support, and literally just line the pen up with my lower lash line and then place it down like that. So easy. And then you literally just want to take go just a little bit down from the tip of the liner and then drag it across to the lid. And then you want to take the pen just here from the edge, and I like to kind of close my eye a little bit and just swoop it across. And then once I get to the middle, I just like to turn the brush into the inner corner and literally just bring it back and connect it to the center, like that. So this is the Eye Bright pencil from Benefit. This I actually really like as well. I'm at the end of it and I'm like, no, because they're so expensive, but like I really love them. So I'm just going to pop this onto my lower lash line. Normally nude liners don't like really show up on me, but this I think it's got like, I think it's because it's got like a pinky tone to it or something that it really shows up on my waterline. I really love it. And I'm just going to go in with some mascara. This is the Big Bang, is it? Oh, Bad Girl Bang. Big Bang Theory. I'm obsessed with that TV show actually. Has anyone else, or does anyone else watch it? I love it. Big Bang Theory. I saw the set when I was at the Warner Brothers studio in LA, and I was like starstruck. It was just amazing, such an amazing experience. But yeah, I'm using the Bad Girl Bang mascara, and yeah, it's fine. I like it. I've been using it since it's been launched. I think I prefer it to the Roller Lash and also their Real. I actually don't like their Real at all. I think it's really clumpy on me. This is okay. You can actually leave it like that. It looks great like that actually. But because I'm extra, I'm going to put on some lashes. So I am using the Allure London Enchanted lashes, which look like this. I actually really like these lashes because the lash band is quite thin, so they're really easy to apply. So if you're a beginner at lashes, you may like these. I'm not going to go into detail on how I apply these because I did in my last video, so I don't want to bore anyone that saw my last video. So I'm just going to pop these on off camera and I'll be back. So moving on to the face, I'm going to start with the Note Skin Perfecting Illuminator. This is a beautiful primer. It's kind of got like, it's like a creamy base with like a bit of shimmer in it, and oh my god, it's so beautiful. It's really dewy, and I've got really dry skin, so I need all the dewiness I can get. So I'm just going to pack it on with my fingers. So for my foundation today, I'm going to be using a mix of the Urban Decay Naked Skin and also the All Nighter. I'm going to mix the two of them together. I love the Naked Skin. It's one of my all-time favourite foundations, and I highly recommend it, especially if you have dry skin. If you like medium to full coverage and like a dewy satin finish, this, oh my god, this foundation is definitely for you. It's beautiful. And then the All Nighter is more of a full coverage foundation. It's more matte, it's a little bit more drying, so I personally can't use this on its own, but I find that the two of them together work beautifully. When I used to do freelance makeup, I used to use these together all the time on brides. You kind of have the mix of the dewy finish and also the matte kind of mix in. So it was so long lasting, and it was perfect for bridal makeup. So this colour is a little bit too dark for me as well. I don't have tan on today, so I can't use this on its own, so I'm going to be mixing in a little bit of the All Nighter in with it. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Boing Cakeless Concealer. It looks like a little eraser. It's like so cute. So I'm just going to pop this in a V shape under the eyes, and then I'm just going to start buffing it out with a matte sponge. Just before I go in and set my concealer with a tiny bit of powder, I'm going to go in with the Get Lit Liquid Illuminator from Carter Beauty. Seeing as we're using the Carter Beauty palette, I thought I'll bring in some Carter Beauty products for my complexion. I don't really have that much. I don't have her foundation or concealer or anything like that. But this I actually really like. It's a little bit too gold for me, but it is beautiful. So I'm just going to dot it just on the cheekbone. It's really beautiful, but you have to be really quick with it, because once it dries, it's actually going to leave a mark on your skin. So even do one cheek at a time if you feel the need. Just like dot it on really quickly, and then use a sponge or something, like a damp sponge, to start buffing it out. And I'd always use the tip of the sponge as well, because it gives you a little bit more control, so you're not spreading it too far down your cheek. So I'm just going to take the Carter Beauty Zodiac palette, and I'm going to take the bronzer, the blush and the highlight from this. I'm going to start off with Earth, which is the bronzer, and I'm going to use this fluffy blending brush, which is the R12 from Rebelluna Beauty. And I'm just going to take a mirror so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just going to start here from the top of my ear. I'm just going to buff it out. Love that. I love this palette, but I wish like the bronzer and highlighter and blush was bigger. Like if they sold this separately, which they might do, but I haven't seen it. If they do sell it separately, I would definitely get it, because it's a little bit hard to, you know, get enough product on your big powder brush. Oh my gosh, my hair looks so wild. I look like I've been like dragged through a bush backwards or something. Okay, so we're now going to go into Air, which is this gorgeous peachy blush. And I'm going to use the Rebelluna 04 for this. Okay, and lastly but definitely not least, I'm going to take the Fire highlight on the 06. We're going to finish off with some lipstick. I'm going to be using the Gerard Cosmetics matte lipstick. This is the Hydro Matte in 1995. It's one of my all-time favorite lipsticks. When Jacqueline like released it in the stick, I absolutely loved it, so I got it in the liquid version because I love me a good liquid lipstick. I just think it just fills out your lips. It just gives them more definition. They look fuller, plumper compared to a normal stick lipstick. That's just me. I do like a lot of definition on my lips because I feel like they're such an odd shape, but I do see why people don't like matte lipsticks, but they are for me. I'm just a die-hard matte lipstick fan. This is the finished look. I'm actually really happy with how it came out. I think it's absolutely beautiful, really quick and easy, and so versatile as well. You can make it as subtle or as dramatic as you'd like, and you can also mix up the lip color. You could just add a little bit of gloss, or you could, you know, take it to a whole other level with like a red lip or a burgundy lip. Literally you can do whatever you like with this eye makeup look, which I really adore. You also don't have to do a wing. You could just do a tiny little bit of liner. You could smoke out a little bit of pencil liner on the lid. Like literally there's so much you can do with this look, so I absolutely love it. I really hope you guys did as well. As for the palette, I gave my review in the last video. I pretty much said the colours are beautiful, it's a gorgeous palette. It was missing a black, and you know I like me a black in a palette, but for this type of look anyway, it wasn't necessary. I think this is a very wearable palette. It's so versatile, you can do so much with it. Again, the colours are beautiful. I am still aware that the darker shades did have a lot of fallout and they were kind of hard to work with. However, for a nude palette, it's absolutely fantastic, and you really just can't go wrong for the price. So I have changed my opinion on it slightly. I do think I kind of like it a little bit more than I did the first time I used it. So if you'd like to see more looks with this palette, then do let me know, and if there's any other palettes out there that you'd like to see me do a video on, then please let me know in the comment section. With that being said, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I really hope I'll get to see you in my next video.